flight attendant application process, so many things happen. So many things happen. And one of those things is getting your training date assigned. There's always a waiting period. That waiting period can be excruciating, can be stressful, can be anxiety filled, but I'm here to calm your nerves. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you what happens when you get the email and when you do your training date selection. Welcome back to my next location. My name is Priscilla. If you've been on my channel, you know that I'm here to give you all the information you need as a new flight attendant, as I am a new flight attendant myself. So I am here providing real-time information as it happens to me. That way, if you just applied or you're going through the application process, you have real-time information. 2023 at this moment information on what could potentially happen as you go through the flight attendant application process. And in today's video, what I will be sharing with you guys is the training date assignment. When I got the email to select the class of my choice, what happened after I went through that selection process, and then what happened afterwards. So going through the flight attendant application process is a lot. Like, I'm not going to lie. It is a lot. It is intense. It requires a lot. You go through so many hoops, so many steps just to get to certain points in the journey. And one of those points is getting your training date assigned. So essentially, rewind. Once you apply, you go through the online interview, in-person, face-to-face interview, you get your CJO. Once you get your CJO, that's a huge milestone. Once you hit that point, you know you're hired on the basis that you pass your drug test, you pass your background check, test, and then you pass your flight attendant training. However, in between that phase, what happens? That's the big question. So first of all, to get your training date assigned, you have to make sure that you get cleared for your background check and your drug test. So if anything should happen in these two, your conditional job offer can be revoked, and then no training date obviously will be assigned because then your employment is revoked or rescinded. So once you pass those tests, or you come back cleared with the airline company that I applied to in particular, you receive an email, and that email would give you a link to a portal where any available class options that are there will be offered to you. I started my application process mid-November 2022. December 28th, 2022, that's when I received an email letting me know that I have moved on to the next step of the application process. And as part of that, I was given the option to select a training class. So that email essentially had several information in terms of details of what the training period would be. My airline company in particular does 6 weeks, how many hours you would average going for class in a week. And then also it encourages you to make plans in terms of your pets, kids, and all that good stuff. And then towards the bottom, it also informs you that obviously, if you're more than 25 miles away from the training center, then you will be flown in and accommodations will be provided as well. And this is a shared hotel accommodation. So with my airline in question, it's a double occupancy. So one room for 2 people. It also tells you the requirements they want for your passport again. Moving on, at the very bottom, there is a link, and then it gives you the information you would need to be able to go to that portal and then select the class option of your choice. So for me, when I received this email and I clicked on that link, right, it took me to a portal. There were, I believe, 3 classes that were available. There were 3 classes, and mind you, I got this email in December 28th, 2022, and the earliest class that was available for me to choose from was March 13th of 2023. So as I've said in my old videos, I go for the earliest time, earliest date, like early everything. Let's get this done and over with. Once you go through the selection process and you submit the form, you do get an email that tells you or confirms your class, the date, and the duration of your class. So I selected my class, my training date was confirmed, and they did also include the fact that if for whatever reason the training date needs to be reassigned or changed or anything, you will be given a notice. And as you're filling out the form, it would give you a portion where you would select how many days or how many weeks of notice do you need for a change to happen. Let me just chip this in before I move on. The whole process, although was a lot, I believe the information that were provided by the airline company that I applied to in question were very detailed, very informative, and then also there were options. The email also further explained to me what what was going to happen between 3 weeks to 2 weeks to the training date itself. So what was going to happen between 3 weeks before my training and the training date start date itself. So several things are expected to happen during that period. One of those things is that you will receive an invitation to attend a base information session, which you should get 2 to 3 weeks prior to your training date. So I've watched other flight attendants share their experience going through the flight attendant application process or hiring process. And sometimes I do hear them say their base selection happened the 3rd week in training, 4th week in training, 5th week in training. With this airline in particular that I applied to, you start your base selection prior to going for training. And I love that. And I'm telling you, these emails do come on time. They do show up on time. When they say 2 to 3 weeks, it's 2 to 3 weeks. So keep an eye on your inbox, your spam, and your trash. This invitation or informational session is an opportunity for you to hear more about the bases, get more information about the flights that are there, their destinations, the number of flight attendants that work there. And if it's in a city where you haven't lived before, it gives you information about the city and the state in question. That way you get a brief overview of like the standard of living. So it's very informative. So the second thing that is in this email is that 2 weeks prior to your training date, that is when you get all the information you need to prepare for training. It would include what to pack, accommodation details, maps to the airline campus in this question, and then critical pieces of information you would need to know about the training experience as well. Third thing that it states here is that between 1 to 2 weeks prior to your training date, you will then receive flight and hotel accommodation details. And then the fourth thing is that it's linked to the first point. So 3 weeks prior to your training date, you get the link to attend the base informational session. 2 weeks from your training date, you then receive an email with a link to a form where you would actually do your base selection. During the informational session, I must add, because I just attended mine, is that they will let you know what happens right after training. The fifth thing that was in this email is essentially the reminders you're going to receive few days before your training. So it was a pretty detailed information email. So right now, it's official. I can confidently state that my training date has been assigned for March. So we're getting ready to go for training. Yay! And then I'm currently going through my base selection as well. I did attend the class. I'm waiting for the link in the email to actually make my selection and see what happens. I'm not going to share when I get the email for my base assignment officially. However, I do plan on creating an initial base assignment reveal. That way you guys can see my reaction to it in real time. Like I said at the beginning of this video, my channel is dedicated to every new flight attendant out there. Whether you're planning on applying, you just applied, you're going through the application process, you're going through training, whatever it is, I'm here to give real-time information and updates of how the process goes, because when I was going through, there's certain information, there were content gaps in terms of what I needed to know going through the process and stuff like that. So I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please drop in the comment section below. And if you want any specific topics discussed and stuff like that about going through the flight attendant hiring journey or application process, also let me know. I am here for you. I am here for you. Once again, if you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, tap the notification bell next to it. That way, whenever I post a video, you get the notification immediately. Give the video a thumbs up and do not watch this video and not leave a comment. Thank you for watching today's video once again, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.